Hey guys, how's it going? It's Philip with Trade Genius. We had a pennant breakdown, so we're going to talk about that and also talk about the gap on the futures and what that means. So let's get into this video.
Trade Genius.
All right, so Sunday was pretty bloody. We had a big move down. The headlines are going to say this is because of a South Korea exchange getting hacked. But in reality, guys, that exchange was really low volume. I mean, there's no reason for that thing to have caused about $1,000 dump like that. So that's, I think this is more of this pennant not holding and then that technical level breaking and then all of the shorts or the stops triggered, and you basically had a cascade down to the next support level, which is currently here. So we'll talk about these support levels and then kind of like what's going to happen now that we've broken the pennant. Where's the next probable move going to go? So we were long, we got stopped out, and currently we're taking another stab long here. But obviously this support level has to hold. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we're probably going to head down to this, test this previous low down here at this 5,800 to 6,000 area. So this going up to test the pennant on the underside is probably going to be, if this level holds and we get a bounce, is going to be the target area, currently at about 7,200. And we also have this downtrend line, which would also provide resistance. Now, that being said, there is actually a higher target of around 7,400 due to this, and that is the futures. So the way futures work is they close at the end of the day on Friday. They don't trade continuously. So what'll happen is, because Bitcoin trades continuously and reopens on Sunday evening, as far as the futures go, and if it's got a big move over the weekend, you're going to have a gap down. So this is the gap here. So to close the gap, we'd have to come all the way back up to this 76.58 level on the futures. Currently, the futures are trading somewhat in sync with the price of Bitcoin. On Friday, they were about $200 higher, so it's pretty close. So this implies about a $700 move, or I'm sorry, about a $900 move back up. Actually, at this point, about a $1,000 move. So to close that gap. Now, when gaps aren't as big as this, generally you could, within the next 24 hours from the futures opening to 48 hours, those gaps tend to close, especially on the index, the stock market indices. A lot of times that's the case. This gap's fairly large, so it may take a week. It might take into next week. But these have a very, very, very high probability of closing relatively soon. So that's going to be kind of a magnet for price, or at least upward pressure. Kind of like, imagine like a black hole in a sucking sound. That's kind of the way gaps, we look at gaps. So keep that in mind on this price action. But I do expect a lot of short attempts to short this thing around this 7,200 area if we do make a bounce back up relatively soon. This trend line is going up, and so you'll have that. So that price target will creep up day by day, but you also have this downtrend line that will provide some resistance as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at here for the immediate bounce. When we do get up to this level, and depending on the futures, what the premium is on the futures, if that gap is close to being closed when we get up to this level here, I think that's going to be a great opportunity to probably take a stab at shorting this thing as it gets rejected. High probability of a rejection there. So that's what we're looking at this point. We can dive into the smaller time frames here. And again, huge hourly volume here on this time frame. Had drawn some arrows kind of pointing at these hourly bars that we were talking about in the room. And basically, we haven't seen that type of volume in quite a long time. Last time we did see that volume was here at this area where we had our last bottom. We saw these 4-hour spikes. So do we get a double bottom here? It's possible. It's definitely possible to bounce here. We are oversold in this area, and if we look at the hourly, you'll definitely see we did get a buy signal here. So we're looking to see if this holds here at the support level. We do have the buy signal in the channel that we like. The channel is very steep though, and that's not gonna, to get to the oversold of this isn't gonna take a whole lot. But again, that 7,200, that area, that's the bottom of the pennant, and that's where we're looking at. If we get up there in relatively short order, that is going to be pretty oversold too on the hourly. And again, I think the bears are going to take a stab at it there and hit it back down. So I wanted to point out just kind of the technicals here, guys. And the next, so we're oversold, looking for a bounce, and then I think there's going to be an opportunity to short it. And if you're in the US, to short it, you actually can go to Bittrex. They have an inverted pair, so you can buy BTC True USD or TUSD, and when it gets to this level, you can buy that pair, and that pair will go up when Bitcoin goes down. So it's an inverted pair. So some of those places that allow you to short don't allow US customers. You could VPN, but then you're kind of taking terms into your own hands. If something goes wrong, you won't have a lot of recourse. Or you can go to Bittrex, and that's a legit way for US residents to do that. Otherwise, overseas or European customers, international customers can use BitMEX or OKX exchanges to short Bitcoin. I think, again, this is kind of the short-term stuff. So we'll see how this week shakes out. We'll take a look at how we're shaping up longer term, but I wanted to push this out so you guys kind of understood the levels that we're looking at and the immediate move coming up. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Take care.
Trade Genius.